Hi there, this is Rob Lawson, the SEO Assassin. This is a little training session on how to blog effectively. When we've spoken in previous podcasts and other webinars and what have you, we've talked about SEO and the importance and what it can do to help your business. The technical side of things is over on the left-hand side here. I think we need to sort out with your website so that it can be recognized by Google and all that sort of stuff. But after you've done that, the sort of heavy lifting is over this side in fresh content and creating backlinks to your website. So that's where blogging is really, really important. So let's go through why you'd want to do this. If you've watched some of Peter Wrench's recent stuff about identity-based branding, the third content pillar is all about authority. And one of the best ways to demonstrate your authority in your niche, in your area of expertise, is to show that you do have that knowledge. Keeps your website fresh and current. It gives you content to share via your email marketing, by all your social media channels. And one of the most important things, other than having a fast website, is also how long people stay on your website, and that influences the bounce rate. And that is another indicator to Google that you've got quality content. So the longer you can keep people on your website. So we tend to make the blogs quite lengthy and get into a lot of detail. I'll talk about that in a minute. And here's the big thing. If you've got a quality blog, it gives other sites a reason to link back to you. And those backlinks are very important for SEO. As with the first one here, it helps build trust with your audience. It's that authority thing. It also gives you opportunities to do internal linking within your website, which is also important for SEO. I want to talk about a couple of myths that people have about writing content and blogs especially. Everyone tells me that people don't read long copy. I've got a website. People don't have time these days. They just want bullet points. They just don't have time. They're skimming. Well, they're skimming to find the gold, the nuggets. They're skimming to find the thing that will solve the problem that they've got. So people who don't read the long copy, that might be the case for 90% of the people out there, but you're not writing your content for them. You're writing your content for the few people who have got the problem or have the desire for the product or service that you're selling, and they're interested. If you have quality content, those people will read a lot of it. Now, the optimal length for your blog post is between 1,000 and 1,500 words. And again, you're not wanting everyone to read it. It's only the ones who are interested. Now, it's got to be compelling content. So if you haven't got enough, don't pad it with stuff. Err on the side. If it's just 750 words, that's going to be okay. But the longer and more detailed, the better. And myth number 2, you need to be good at copywriting. There's plenty of good copywriters. I've got a range of them that I use. I put out content pretty much every other day or maybe once a day, various customers for a couple of my own websites. All I do is brief them. I don't write the content. But that is the thing. You do have to assist them. You need to come up with some blog topics, and we need to know what your angle is. Even if you see an article that comes across your desk and you think that's complete garbage, well, that's fine. Refer to that article and give the copywriter the 5 or 6 reasons why you disagree with it. People are going to be drawn to you because you've got a strong opinion. So make sure you voice it. So when you're doing the brief, create a few bullet points, maybe write a sentence for each one and add some images if you can. And then the copywriter will do the research and come back with an amazing article. So, and a lot of people say they're struggling for content ideas. There's plenty of ways you can do this. I'll show you in a second. With Google Alerts and Google Trends, that's a great way to get ideas. You've got industry publications around your niche, and that will give you plenty of ideas. You've got industry associations as well, especially in business to business. And then you've also got your own knowledge around questions that your customers and your prospects ask, especially prospects when they're confused about how to decide about something. Write answers to their questions. And the last one is brainstorm with your team. You don't have to be the one that comes up with all the great ideas. Share a lot of this stuff with them. Subscribe to some magazines and some blogs, and look at what other influencers in your sector are doing, especially on socials. They might only have little small bits of information where you can go, okay, I can write a detailed article around that, and that'll help you with SEO. and with your authority. So I thought I'd just share an example of Andrea and Anthony at Foliage Landscaping. We did some blogs just recently, and what we found with Google Trends was showing an increase in search traffic for outdoor heating and fire pits. So Andrea created a brief and sent some related images on the fire pit one. So this is what she wrote, and she sent through these images. It's nice to have a good selection to break up the content. And then if you go to the website and have a look at the blogs, you'll see the last two there, and here's the actual blog post. Let me just jump out and go and show you how to use Google Alerts and Google Trends. So if you look here and you type in Google Alerts, you need to have a Gmail account in order to sign up for this. They're free. You can create a Gmail quite easily, and then you go in here and you just type in what you want to, the subject you want to get your alerts around. And then once you've created the alert, you can choose how often you want it. I get them once a week. I used to do it every day, but it was just overwhelming. Let me just get my email up and I'll show you an example. So yeah, we'll just move that email across here. So see all these Google alerts that have come in. Here's one on marketing automation. And then these are all of the articles that Google has selected that they've found from all over the place. So that's your Google alerts. So set up some of those for your niche. And then Google Trends is another one. So if we go in here to Google Trends and change that up there for Australia, and I'll do, since we're on the landscaping theme, let's go for the topic of landscaping. And you couldn't go to the search term and then just see what's coming up. Succulent plants, landscaping supplies near me. You get the idea. That's how we, and then you can go for more topics or less. So here's rock garden. Let's have a look what's going on with rock gardens. Japanese rock garden, succulent plants. So you can just keep exploring through Google Trends. And those two tools, free of charge, not very hard to use, and they'll give you plenty of good ideas. I generally use Google Alerts for probably, I don't know, 50, 60% of the topics I write about, and the rest is probably from blogs or things I see on LinkedIn. I see a lot of stuff on my feed on LinkedIn that I either agree or don't agree with, and that gives me the ideas to go and write something. Or, well, I don't actually write it. I just brief the copywriter. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can do it yourself. If you're a competent and confident writer, then just take note from this. Is one of my favorite articles around blog writing. Make sure you do some planning at the front end and some research. Create the structure. Make sure you craft the title and the URL so that you can relate it to the keyword that you're going for, or keywords. Use headings correctly. Keep your paragraphs short. Add links when it makes sense. Make sure you use keywords, but don't stuff them. Only use the keywords when it's natural. Optimize the length and make sure that the metadata, the title tag and the meta description are okay. And optimize any images, the alt tags and what have you, or other media if you're using GIFs or video. Now, here's the web address for this particular article, and they've got a lot of content around each of those 10 where they go into more detail. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you was when we were looking at the article that we wrote for Andrea, you can see here how we've used the image, and it's winter, so we felt that one was the lead image. We talked about winter, and then it's not just for winter. So we've got headlines, short bit of content, some images, breaks it up, and we end up with a really good article. And I don't think there was one, I think on the outdoor, I think we changed one word to al fresco because that's what people refer to that more in Australia than one of the other terms I think that was used. But that was the only change made on that article. And then this one, no changes at all. So get into writing content, get into learning about what's current and relevant to your customers and your prospects. If you've got any questions about doing this, reach out to me, email, phone call. Happy to give you some tips. And it's so important. It ticks so many boxes. It allows you to have that fresh content for your website. It allows you to communicate regularly with your customers and your prospects. Not everyone is going to be, cold and then buy instantly. That's just dreamland. That doesn't really happen. As Peter's pointed out, in the identity-based branding, you need to communicate regularly. You need to build trust, and blogging is one of the best ways you can do it. Look forward to talking to you soon.